Okay, here's an update on our 1820 farmhouse that American Custom Exteriors and Interiors have been working on for us. Try to go slow, not to get anybody sick. This is our front porch area. The guys who did this are extreme perfectionists, and our house by no means has any normal measurements that equal. Like literally one side of the garage is one measurement, the other side of the door is another measurement. There was lots of complications with a lot of our old house boarding that was underneath that they had to work around and do the best they could. And they did an amazing job considering that they did this to an 1820 original house. So we are extremely impressed. This is only a week into the project so far. This is the garage end. Try to step back farther to see more of it in its entirety. The whole west wall. As far as the lower portion of that, they still have the gables to do up there. They're waiting for next week to start, from the next work week, because it is the end of the week. So it's a very long house on this end. Coming up to the roadside. I come out to the road to give you the whole frontal view of the road. And this front, if you look back at the old video, the eaves and soffits were so rotted. Those were all redone. They just have the front gable on this to do next week when they come back. There was tons and tons of time-consuming, trying to think what they call it. The white that's around the trim. So they went through and did that. They also did our posts that are all wrapped. They also did the entire top of the ceiling of our porch is also now all wrapped. And this, so it's like beautiful. Keeps all the bees out, bugs out. It'll keep us so warm in the winter. So much warmer, that's for sure. I'll come over to the driveway side. And they wrapped the post for us, also did the the ceiling on this porch as well. Did all the trim work. And then this gable is done. They did a beautiful job, and even up there was complications with, if you look at the before, in the before video, oh, it was a nightmare. So they had to do definitely extra, and they definitely didn't have straight edges to work with, and they did a phenomenal job on this old 1820 house for us. We are extremely happy that we chose this company. I look back at the other companies and how they talked about what they were going to do, how long it was going to take them to do it, and one of them would have been the entire summer, like the entire summer to do this for us. And instead we had chose American because the fact that they, with this project, this house is, I think, 2,200 square feet. It might be 2,500, I don't remember which, but American Custom actually gave us, like said, they could complete the project in 10 days, and that, what you just saw, was only 7 days. That included over Labor Day weekend. So we are extremely impressed with the amount of work that they got done. They pulled off our old siding, and we kind of knew that there was going to be no insulation or very little, and that was the case. Not to mention some other unique finds in an old wall like this. So overall, the other thing I want to mention in this video, and I'm sure I'll have more to add to our final video that I'll be doing at the end of next week, but the guys from American, I have noticed they are an awesome team. Like, they are, you could hear them outside the house talking to themselves about what they need to do, or if they're not happy with, you know, what it is, that they correct it. They're very much perfectionists, which is awesome. Some of the stuff my husband and I would have been like, you know, no big deal. They were like, no, we don't like it, we're redoing it, or, you know, something like that. The other thing I noticed, they're very, very great as a team working together. When someone asks for something and then someone goes and gets that thing that they needed, you know, they say thank you to each other. You know, they have a really great time. We let them, they turn their radio on, and we're like, we're out in the country, crank it, you know, have a good time doing what you do, because I love doing stuff to music, so I wanted to definitely let them know they can certainly crank it and have a good time. Let's see, I'm trying to think of something else. They're just, the overall of this team and how they work and how they get along and how they make sure things are done right is amazing. So, you know, I would strongly tell people, go get quotes from other companies, interview the people that are coming to give you the quotes. You know, in my first video, I explained all about why we chose this company, and everything that we did throughout that process of 4 quotes was absolutely accurate. The other thing, Kevin, when he came to give us a quote, explained that every single day when they're done working, they clean up after themselves. You know, there's no like floating stuff, you know, from the house around it. Some of them do smoke, and there's no cigarette butts anywhere that you can find. They're very respectful of the property. Another person who did a quote for us actually said in their quote, and I'm something along the lines of not responsible for any damage to the property, because they were probably going to be using stuff that I don't even know what they're going to be using. But when they said that, I was thinking all these things of what could go wrong with the property, mud holes around our house and all these different things. And Kevin and the crew at American used ladders. They use well, whatever these things are. They use scaffolding to set up along the walls so that there isn't any damage to the yard. You wouldn't even know they were here after they're done. They're so great about picking up and being so respectful of the property and of the people. We have animals. We have 3 dogs, so they were respectful of those as well. Yeah, this has been a phenomenal experience, and I'm so happy. And I'll tell you right now, get your quotes, meet with the people, look at the reviews. We went through hundreds and hundreds of testimonials and reviews on everybody we got quotes from. Don't just look on their website or their Facebook page. Actually Google the company, look at the Yelp and the Google reviews, because the other ones had a lot of red flags. A lot of them, even one that was very competitive with this company. We went with 5-star for a quote, and there was so many red flags with that company about money and about not having enough money to finish a project, and them asking the homeowners for more money, and you're supposed to be a certain amount up front and then a certain amount when they're done. And when they came to sit down with us with the quote, it was literally a couple pieces of paper, some pictures, numbers, and the guy asked for a check right there. I'll put it on the calendar if you give me a check. And American doesn't do that. They ask that you pay at the end when they're completed, after the salesman walks around with you, and that you're 100% satisfied, which I thought was phenomenal. It's been very consistent. Everything that we were told at the beginning has been very accurate, 100% accurate at this point. And yeah, and the other company, wanted a check and to put on the schedule, and these guys put on the schedule, which to me shows that American, when they can come and pay for a week or 2 of these guys coming and working every single day and cover those paychecks, shows that this company is responsible with their finances. And that is huge, huge, huge. Because if they run into something where they need more supplies, they're getting them, they're putting them on the job, their upfront is there. And the other companies sound like they were not financially smart, asking for money throughout the projects and stuff like that with other customers. And so many, you could read all those different reviews and testimonials from people, and pictures that people have shown from the other companies. The other thing was, the other companies didn't have a whole lot of siding experience, where these guys had a phenomenal amount of siding experience and before and after pictures. So it was just a no-brainer. When you look at the dollar amount, it doesn't compare until you see the value of what they do, is all I've got to say. So I would just strongly suggest, do your homework, do your research, compare apples to apples with product citing, whatever the product name is from one quote, get the product quote from the next one, make sure all the quotes match, warranties, all that good stuff, and definitely vet them. Do your research, look at their reviews, look at their testimonials, Google the name and look up bad reviews and see what is there, if any. And until next week, when they're all done, I'll do one more final walk around when all of the stuff is gone and the trailers are gone and dumpsters gone, and I'll do one final one for you guys.